Okay, hi guys, and welcome to this presentation, this chat, this talk on the three M's of the high value man. These are essential to being a high value man. If you're in a situation where your partner is not currently talking to you, you're not getting respect at home, you feel like you're not getting the kind of maybe the admiration or the appreciation that you really want to get, we can go to work on all the other areas that we talk about. But for sure, one of the areas you can go to work on is inside of the three M's. The three M's are going to make sure that we have shored up who you are as a human being, as a man, so that you can produce and be able to trigger that attraction, trigger that desire in your partner to be with you. But also, just in general, guys, even if you're not in a relationship, this is 100% what you get to focus on that will make the biggest difference in how you show up. So whether you're in a relationship or you're dating or even happily married, wherever you are right now, as a man, we want to go to work on the three M's, period. And that allows us to have that high value status. All right, so let's talk about those three M's. Let's get right into it. If you're in a relationship where your partner's not showing up, where they're not attracted to you, where they're not giving you respect, where you don't feel appreciated at the level that you could go to work on these things. What I always tell my guys, no matter what, is to start with this area, because this area is going to give them access no matter what happens. If the relationship's not for you, you're still going to have these traits, these characteristics, this value that you get to convey to everyone and you get to carry in your life. There's no way that you can go wrong by going after the three M's. So let's get right into it. And yeah, we're going to trigger attraction, respect, and give us opportunity to influence others. And those are going to be the byproducts of the work that we're going to talk about here. So we're going to build on the three M's. For you to know, the three M's are very simple. It's going to be market value or sexual market value, money, and emotional mastery. So mastery. Market value, money, and mastery are the three M's: sexual market value, money, and emotional mastery. So let's get into it. And this is really what it comes down to. So let's talk about sexual market value. And this is something I go into with the guys all the time. It's extraordinarily important. And when I talk about sexual market value, what I'm talking about is how desirable are you in the marketplace? Right? We want to increase your value in the marketplace, okay, to your partner and to others as well. And this is actually covering, what we call pre-selection. When your partner knows that you're attractive to other people, it makes you more attractive to them. It also makes you more of somebody that they should really be fighting for, that there could be a fear of loss that we can trigger in them when they know that you have options. Does that make sense? And it's always in the background. You're not going to take advantage of those options. You are just going to have those options. If you're a single man, obviously sexual market value is very important. You may be looking for one partner, and that's great. But the reality of the situation is that you're going to want to be attractive so you can attract the right mate and keep the right mate. Sexual market value is not just to attract the mate, it is to keep the right mate as well. So anyway, it's about being a complete package here. It's not just about looks, by the way, although looks are a big deal. In the past, this has been known as muscle. Like they'll group this as muscle, but it's not just muscle. Muscle is good. And by the way, there are two types of muscle. There's the male gaze muscle. I'm talking about the Lou Ferrigno, giant Ronnie Coleman, huge Arnold Schwarzenegger body. And then there's the attractive athletic build, V-cut, low body fat, kind of lean athletic body that demonstrates strength that you could have. And that's what women want. They don't want you're not looking for the male gaze, unless of course you are. But that's for those of you who are in the conversation called male female. They want a lean, attractive, athletic body that's for that purpose. Okay, so physical presence is very important, and so we get into that. That's a part of it. I mean, I could get into you, and that's what we have Fit Goats Win is for, which is for you to develop that lean, athletic build, for yourself as a man demonstrating strength, athleticism, the ability to protect as well, but just being attracted that makes them want to have that, right? You want to see those veins in the arms, you know what I'm saying? You want to see that attractive build. You don't have to have the veins, but you do want to create that V shape that we talk about all the time. So that's a part of sexual market value. It's a big part of sexual market value. We could talk about other parts of physical presence as well that we've gone to work on, how you cut your hair. For me personally, I like the bald look. As you can see, it works well for me because I look good every single day. I don't have to shave or anything. If that's not for you, then use something else, but make sure that your look is accentuating what God gave you in the first place. And there's a lot of ways to look at it. Sometimes we do what we call, roasts, where we'll put somebody in the hot seat and we'll have the women share about what's working, what's not working for them. I love it when we do that. We'll do that as of now at the recording of this. This is going to be close to our Playa Goatswin live event, and we'll do the roast there too for people who want to get to the next level, get more attractive, everything else. They'll tell you about your smell. They'll tell you about your look. And that includes, by the way, your smell, your haircut. Some people are shaving they're doing their beards improperly. They're not able to good to themselves or bringing that or allowing themselves to be attractive in that way. So physical appearance is important. It's not just body, although body is much more important, believe it or not, than even face. What you got to demonstrate in your face is the ability to optimize what you do have, and also making sure that you have demonstrated your grooming and your own style, right? Which demonstrates a capacity to be alert, to be aware, right? To be situationally aware. What am I doing with myself? Am I actually presenting myself in the best way? Now, what else is sexual market value? It's confidence, it's calm, certainty, decisiveness, no approval seeking. That's extraordinarily important. Comfort leading, comfort walking away. You got to be comfortable walking away, and you have to have high respect for yourself. You demonstrate that, that's going to be a big deal. Now, one of the biggest things I see with men that they do is they walk into a room, they don't own the room. I could go into each one of these, and I won't for the purposes of this video. I just want you to get the 3 M's are extraordinarily important. But confidence is important. When I walk into a room, just to close that loop for you, I am not getting a feel for the room, trying to sit in the back and get a read for the room. I'm owning the room the moment I walk into the room. And you can do that as well, and you want to do that, and I will show you how to do that, definitely inside of the work that we do with men. All right, so anyway, let's keep going. Status. If you have status, that's also increasing your sexual market value. If you're doing well in your social media, if your social media is banging, right? I've got 300,000 followers. That definitely helps in my value. You don't need to have 300,000 followers. You could have 1,000 followers. You could have 5,000. But the more you do, if you get 5 to 10,000 real followers, and you're demonstrating yourself in that, or you're a part of a group or organization and you're high in the organization, that's also status. You're demonstrating leadership. You're demonstrating reputation and influence, right? So wherever you can put those markers out, that's definitely going to hit them and increase your sexual market value, social value, demonstrating in your social media. Even if you don't have a lot of friends, it's not about that, or a lot of followers. It's more so about, am I demonstrating value? Am I demonstrating having fun? Am I demonstrating being good with people? Am I demonstrating these things? These are demonstrations of higher value that are taking your sexual market value up. Also demonstrating, excellence in an area. So all these things are great. Obviously, sexual market value is going to kind of build in on the money and the emotional mastery. The more that you have the money and emotional mastery, you'll be feeding back into the sexual market value. The biggest things, though, is that we want to work on your physicality, your presence, right? We want to work on your physicality, your grooming of your face, and also of the body. That's important. And also your dress, very important. I just recently acquired or hired a celebrity stylist who did a really good job at making sure that I look good every time I leave my house. I'm telling you, when I'm not wearing a goat shirt, or even when I am, right? So that was important. And then, of course, presence, as I said. Presence, the ability to walk in and be confident, etc. Those are very important, okay? So you don't have to ever announce your value. That's very important, because if you have to prove yourself, then you have no value. Does that make sense? And so the idea and the whole thing about sexual market value that I will get into, if you guys let me know that you want me to do another video on this, is being desired, being desirable, respected, worth pursuing, and worth investing in, because we need the woman to want to invest in you very easily. And that is what sexual market value actually gives us access to. If you're in a relationship already, why do you want sexual market value again? Is because sexual market value is a part of being a high value man. If you're not valued or wanted by anybody else, can you really be a high value man? What makes the value of something in the stock market goes up? A lot of people want it. There's a lot of demand. Can we create the apparent demand for you? Does that make sense? That's going to make a difference inside of how you operate. All right. So that's extraordinarily important. Sexual market value is something that is a skill set. It's something that you can build and you can get better at. All right, let's talk about money. Money is the second M of the three M's. And so, yeah, it's all about having your income, having assets. Really, guys, it's about, I want to just say this. First of all, the bottom line about sexual market value before I go on is that it pings our demonstrations of higher value. Those are basic core things that trigger the attraction in a woman. And number two, it hits pre-selection, meaning that you are attractive to other women. That means that you're attractive, and it pings something primal in the brain of a woman. Does that make sense? Or other people. Next up is money. Money is very, very important. All right, so let's talk about money. Money is a demonstration. If you want to know just flatly, it's going to demonstrate the ability to gather resources. And really, inside of the tacit agreement that a man has with a woman is that he will protect, provide. That's inside of that tacit agreement. So it's really protection, provision, and emotional security and stability. We'll talk about that next one in emotional mastery. But for money, it's protection and provision. What does that look like today? Can I put you in a nice home? Can I put you in a decent car? Can I make sure that you are in a safe place, that we don't have to struggle to eat? Yes, that's protection and provision. How do we demonstrate that today? It's not by hunting and gathering, mostly. It's by money. Can I gather enough resources so I can give that to you? You working on your money, whether you're with someone or not, whether they're giving you access or not, is important. And also in the background of your relationship, if you don't have the money aspect, listen, a woman can have her own money and she doesn't want your money. It's not about that. It's about her knowing that you can protect and provide. That's important. Hopefully for most of us, God willing, in our lives, we never have to demonstrate having to defend or protect our partner, right? But it's the ability to, or demonstrating the apparent ability to protect our partner and to provide for our partner is important. So even if you have a partner who can provide for herself, it doesn't matter. You get to be resourceful or demonstrate that you can. That's going to ping respect. It's going to take care of that part that is required for her to respect you and to see you as a high value man. Your ability to gather resources, your ability to make money, your ability to protect her and to provide for her, right? So these are very, very important things naturally. And if, let's say that you don't do this one, it's not about you being more than your partner, by the way. It's not about that, right? Like, understand, it's really about her understanding that you have the ability to, okay? It really is. And it's so primal. It has nothing to do with a woman being a gold digger. It has nothing to do with her, not wanting you for you. It has everything to do with, the way that we were made fundamentally. And a woman is made to want to make sure that she has chosen a partner, because she can only choose one at a time, that was going to protect her offspring. So biologically, if you cannot demonstrate that, then there's something big missing. And there's a part of her that's going to be looking somewhere else or thinking that there's better out there, because that's a part of the tacit agreement, the silent agreement that we have in a relationship, men, is that we get to protect and provide, or the ability to protect and provide. Okay. All right, cool. Let's go into it. And I know that sucks for some of you, but work on it. Work on your game. We get to always work on our stuff, period. All right. So now the last M is mastery. What kind of mastery? Emotional mastery. Now, what does that ping fundamentally for a woman? That pings fundamentally hypergamy. Hypergamy means that she marries up. A woman wants to marry up. Statistically speaking, the women who chose the man, right? The one who they got the one that they wanted, Those are the better relationships that last longer. Why? Because she thought that he was better than her in the first place, and then that she wanted to get with him because of that. Does that make sense? That's number one. Now, how do we demonstrate that over and over again so we can ping that hypergamy and honestly be worthy of leadership? Now, look, I'm going to be honest. I am a leader, obviously. I'm a leader of Goats Win. But I also have leaders, who feed me and empower me the way that I empower you. Right now, what makes them worthy of leadership? They do better than me. They know more than me. Does that make sense? They're better than me in something. So hypergamy is not a bad thing. Your wife's going to be better at you at the things that she's better at you at. But hypergamy is extraordinarily important. Like, I can't cook. My wife, she is a fantastic cook. I don't spend time. I take all my energy and I put it toward gathering resources and making the difference that I'm here to make in life, right? Now, my wife is a fantastic cook. I can even smell the food right now. We're in a giant old house, and I can smell the food on the other side of the house right now as she's cooking, man. And I'm telling you, it's going to be delicious because it always is. And the thing about it is that although she's better at that, the things that matter, that I am better at, right, are important. And one of those big things is emotional mastery. You've got to be better than her inside of emotional mastery. Your ability to do whatever it's going to take to give her what she needs, your ability to lead, your ability to demonstrate emotional stability is extraordinarily important, right? And so this is a great leadership skill. It's probably the greatest and the most important one for sure. And it allows people to regulate to your nervous system. So when you're masterful and you're grounded and you're calm and you're peaceful, you're a stabilizing force for those around you who give you leadership. Now, as I said before, I have leaders. I am currently leading you. Why? Because I've demonstrated doing better and being able to take you higher. Now, why should the woman of your life want to give you leadership? She gets to give you the honor and the privilege of leading in your home. Why would she do that if you're not powerful? If you're not demonstrating the ability to do something better than her, the ability to lead better than her, the ability to emotionally lead better than her. So with self-mastery, it's going to be when things get tough, specifically, when things are hard, even when she gives you a tough test, right? She's crop testing you or whatever else, and you being able to stay in the pocket and be unmoved, right? During that, right? That's a big part of that mastery. So how do we demonstrate that? We demonstrate that through discipline, integrity, accountability, patience, confidence, self-control, courage, consistency. We're going to demonstrate that in these ways that make it so clear that we're not reacting to life. We may respond to life, but we're not reacting to life. Does that make sense? So when something tough happens, even in your relationship, and she's yelling, screaming, and getting angry, you're not. When she says and calls it quits, you're still standing inside of love. When there's rejection present and all those things, you're still being powerful. When tough times come inside of your relationship, inside of your business, inside of your finances, inside of whatever else, you demonstrating a calm and a peace that anchors her. See, because the masculine energy is a frame that literally allows for and creates a stability, right? And so the feminine energy can be creative and it can move around and do all the things that it does. Now, the thing about it is, if you're supposed to be the anchor and the stability and you are not stable, then how unstable will she be if she's now requiring your stability to give her stability? Does that make sense? So if that's the case, then you're literally going to make her go into the masculine so she can survive whatever you're going through. And then she stays in the masculine because she doesn't feel like she's safe to be in the feminine because you haven't demonstrated consistently and reliably being able to be that emotional mastery. This is extraordinarily important. You cannot expect someone to just give you and hand over leadership. She's not going to give you leadership. You don't deserve it. You have to earn it. We have to earn it. Just like you earn this black shirt that says GOAT on it. You get to earn your relationship. You get to earn the leadership. So it's an honor and a privilege. right? It is an honor and a privilege to lead my family. It is an honor and a privilege to lead you. And I get to be worthy of it every single day. I'm inviting you to take it on the same exact way. So when things get tough, and even things get tough in your relationship, and she's a big reaction, you cannot be a reaction, right? So that means not being reactive. That means not chasing. That means not begging. That means not manipulating. Or it definitely means not collapsing under rejection or pressure or anything else that's going on. This is extraordinarily important and must be consistent, all right? And you must maintain composure, because if you don't, she will not feel safe with you, and you have not demonstrated hypergamy. If she can be more emotionally grounded than you, guess what? You have not done better than her, and you don't have hypergamy. All right. So look at it that way. All right. That's very, very important, guys, is the bottom line. Hypergamy is extraordinarily important. Mastery, your ability to master emotional mastery, is extraordinarily important. And the best times, I'm going to tell you, that you can demonstrate it is when other people would crumble and you're maintaining strength, and you're grounded, and you're maintaining peace. When you can do that, you'll be worthy of leadership, and your partner will choose you, and they will be able to be with you and trust you through the tough times, right? Right, that we just talked about: market value, sexual market value, money, and emotional mastery. These 3 M's, they compound. They build on each other, and they make each other bigger, right? So the better the market value creates more opportunities, and money creates more freedom, and mastery allows you to maximize on both. All of it compounds. So think about it this way: the more money you have, the more emotional mastery you show, the more sexual market value that you have. At the same time, the you that gets access to a higher sexual market value knows yourself, knows who you are, stands inside of that. Guess what? You get to bring more grounding to the conversations. When your partner is not being good with you, or she's going through her own stuff. Sometimes my wife goes through her own things, and my natural way of being is, hey, I knew it, I'm not good enough. That would show up for me, but I don't let that actually show up for me anymore, because I'm present to who I am. I am highly valuable, and so when she's going through what she's going through, I just stand in love for her. I'm there for her, and I let her keep on going. I don't let it take me out. I just stand in love for her while she's going through what she's going through, and get to the other side. So look, here's the deal. This is what I would say is, so it compounds, right? So my sexual market value that I know that it's high, I get hit on all the time, is that, or get compliments or whatever it looks, all this choosing signals, all that stuff, whatever it looks like. I know that I'm doing all the things I get to do. I'm doing all I can do, which is like maximizing my sexual market value, maximizing my emotional mastery, maximizing my money. Does that make sense? These are things I can do. And so I get grounded inside of it, and they just create more and more and more as you work on all 3 areas. That's what a high value man really is. All right, so here's the thing. Here's what I want you to do. Get present to this. Most people ask, how do I get her back? If you're in that situation or in that conversation, stop, right? We're going to work on that. Don't get me wrong. We're working on it. We're doing all the things that there are to do. We're taking the actions that there are to take, right? But the real question I want you to ask is, who must I become? Who do I get to become? Who do I get to be that gets access to this? Well, I promise you, let's start with the 3 M's. Get your butt in the gym. Stop being lazy, right? Stop wasting your time sitting on the couch watching other men win their games of life, watching sports. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about it when I have time for that, or when it's going to serve my purpose. But let me tell you how much time we waste watching other people's sporting events, watching other people do their thing, in their area of life. We ain't doing that anymore. There's so much time that you're wasting. You know what I'm saying? And we could be putting that toward working on your body, creating that V shape that we always talk about, working on your skin routine, working on that, working on your money, making sure that you're doing everything you can to increase your business, creating a business, buying a business, whatever it may look like, so you can increase your money, doing better at work, whatever that may be, just whatever there is to do. And then, of course, emotional mastery. Continue to work on yourself so you're present to the things that trigger you and set you off, and now being able to find yourself in groundedness inside of this. There's more than enough time to get what you want to get done. Get rid of the stuff that's holding you back, and then get right to it. I'm telling you, The 3Ms are going to make a huge difference. The best case scenario, you now give your perfect package of yourself that you continue to work on, right, to the woman of your life. Worst case scenario, you become this perfect package that gets to choose someone who really values you and who's going to really be able to appreciate what you have to offer. That's what I'm trying to tell you at the end of the day. Be a high value man. You're a GOAT, for goodness sake. Let's get it. Talk to you soon.